Looking back on childhood, I can point to many examples of cartoons and TV shows that helped me want to become a furry. And many of those properties and cartoons and toy lines have been lost to history or just simply forgotten. Welcome to Furgotten Theater, where you and I will look back on those furry things that were trailblazing properties that may have inspired the previous generation of fandom participants. The saying is you don't know someone else's journey until you've traveled in their shoes. So let's take a moment to wax nostalgic about the cartoons that turned Generation X into rabbits, cats, fowl, maybe a toad or two. Let's man the laser cannons and turn on the photon accelerator. This is Bucky O'Hare.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Delicious things to eat.
Bucky O'Hare was first published in the comic book anthology series Echo of the Future Past, published by Continuity Comics. The Bucky O'Hare animated show debuted in September of 1991 and ran until January of 1992, only 13 episodes total. A toy series was produced of action figures featuring Captain Bucky O'Hare and the other characters, not all of them, but most of them. A video game was released in 1992 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and there was also an arcade cabinet produced for in-arcade experiences. After 1992, Bucky continued to live on VHS release tapes, and then a short run and hard-to-find DVD collection of all 13 episodes. Bucky O'Hare and the Toad Wars, as it was called in the animated series, was produced by Sunbow Productions and only lasted 13 episodes. The series takes place in what's called the Aniverse, or the anthropomorphic universe, where Bucky O'Hare and his friends all live and fight against the Toad Menace. The Aniverse features a green rabbit, aptly named Bucky, as captain of the SPACE frigate, the Righteous Indignation. The ship and her crew, a pilot named Jenny, who is an aldebaran cat with mystic powers. Wait, hang on. This show's for kids? I see she's, well endowed. My God, that video game armor she's wearing. Is she hitting on that dude? She's hitting on the human. What the hell? The gunner, Deadeye Duck, a reformed space pirate of sorts from the aptly named Corsair Canard's fleet. A robot named Blinky, who would give C-3PO a run for his money in the anal retentive department.
Calamity and woe!
There's Bruiser, the Beetlejuicean berserker baboons, who appears to be the hired muscle of the outfit, and Engineer Willie DeWitt, a human whom comes and goes as ship's engineer when the plot says so. In the first episode, we see that Willie's kind of a nerd, and not very popular nerd. He unwittingly creates a photon accelerator, a warp core-like device for this universe. That is the main drive system for Captain Bucky O'Hare's ship, the Righteous Indignation. When Willie turns on his photon accelerator, he's able to bridge the gap between the human universe and Bucky's Aniverse. Usually each episode has a lesson that will help Willie become less of a wimp in his real human life while he travels to the Aniverse to face unparalleled dangers that could kill him. But you know, those bullies aren't going to do anything on their own. The bad guys in this series are the Toads. Filthy, consumerist, easily manipulated toads led by a computer known as Complex that takes over in the first episode, series exposition. I'm sorry. War of the Warts, if you can believe that. It's explained by Blinky's newsreel productions that the toads were once a peace-loving creature happy to buy pointless merchandise. However, the computer turned evil that ran the planet and incorporated the whole population into its own private army, which is set out to dominate the universe.
Like you do.
The SPACE, or Sentient Protoplasms Against Colonial Encroachment. Is that what it means? You're kidding me. The SPACE tasks Captain Bucky O'Hare to defend the frontier against the Toad Air Marshal and the Toad Armada. However, Bucky O'Hare only made 13 episodes and then was canceled due to poor toy sales. See, like so many properties in the 1980s and 90s, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles screwed everyone. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Playmates, their toy producer, made other money-loving businessmen, men seeking to free people from their hard-earned cash, rush to produce anything that could replicate the Turtles' success. However, in the case of Bucky O'Hare, the toys came out many months before the show's premiere, and in September of 1991, without a show to really carry the toy line, the toys didn't sell well for Christmas. So by the time the show had really fully started and began to sow the seeds of, this makes me feel funny. Why do I like this rabbit so much? The toys had been pulled off shelves and the series was canceled. There was even a second toy lineup ready to go in the production, but they pulled the plug on Bucky O'Hare off the air and off the shelves. To be fair, the writing for Bucky O'Hare was pretty mediocre in that everything was well explained and there was never any real danger for the characters. You never believed for a second that there was any danger. However, a lot of the comedy comes from AFC Blinky.
Android First Class Blinky reporting, sir. Chief Engineer Bruce, deeply involved in contemplation of photon accelerator.
And from Dead-Eye Duck, I found...
Them's magic words, Bucky, my boy. It's been too long since old Dead-Eye Duck got to croak some toadies.
It was always weird to me that the cat was hitting on Willie.
There are some things so important, they're worth doing no matter what the cost.
Willie DeWitt, you are a very brave human.
Oh, gosh.
Maybe they were trying to turn us furry at an even earlier age. I mean, you know, Robin Hood did a doozy to everyone. The animation was on par with what else was being produced at the time, and the show's lessons were normal for the time. However, during the height of the turtle craze of the 90s, it was nice seeing something that was in a Star Wars-like environment where there seemed to be some mild danger after all. But overall, I think the message of Bucky O'Hare also is anti-consumerism. The Toads are very, very consumerist. And it's parodied in many, many of the episodes that the Toads would buy anything. They even go to war because the TV tells them to do it. The TV that's run by their master computer system. And if you notice that, they're also kind of anti-technology, whereas the SPACE, they seem to kind of rely only on newsreels, documentaries, and even some tourism bureau things to explain exposition. So they seem to be kind of more intellectual. So I always wondered if that was a subplot, and I would really like to ask Larry Hama or Michael Golden what the subplot of Bucky O'Hare was, if it was anti-consumerism or if it was pro-intellectualism. As a child, though, really the show was great. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was action-packed. I thought the characters were interesting, to say the least, and that Jenny was, at times, overly sexual. I liked how the voices were also somewhat real, that Bucky had a little bit of a lisp.
Members of the council, I asked for a fleet. You gave me one measly frigate.
That Jenny sounded older, and Scott McNeil as Dead-Eye Duck, I mean, he just sells it. Blinky, obviously a C-3PO ripoff, does really great at being anal retentive, whereas Willie DeWitt actually sounds like a child, as a young boy. If you get the opportunity to find this anywhere online or on DVD, I would say purchase Bucky O'Hare. Enjoy some Furgotten theater. These were the classics that turned us furry. So until next time, I'm Star Raccoon. Keep your stick on the ice.
Somewhere in the future, follow up here. Trouble is waiting on the last frontier. Into these worlds of unknown danger they ride. They're the galaxy rangers healing the sky. No rest, no glory, no pain, no gain.
Hey everyone, I'm Star Raccoon. Thanks for joining me. If this is something that you enjoyed, drop me a line at askaraccoon@gmail.com, or maybe even suggest something to me to review next time on Furgotten Theater. I'd really like to turn this into a series, and also hear what your thoughts are on what were the classics that turned you furry that not everyone remembers.